really sick are really high.
It's unclear how he got to be this severely obese, but Dr. Robert Lustig, a leading pediatric endocrinologist, has a theory.
I don't think he can eat himself to 1,345 pounds, but he can certainly drink himself to it. Liquid calories don't stimulate satiety like solid calories. It's hot there, and so it goes down really easily.
Liquids don't fill you up the way food does, so perhaps he never felt satisfied. Saudi Arabia's King Abdullah is paying for a military plane to transport Shari to Riyadh to undergo medical treatment. Step one, says Lustig, a restrictive diet, not weight loss surgery.
You can't do surgery on them now. It's too dangerous. I mean, you basically would have to keep them in the hospital for years on a restricted calorie diet. At some point, it will become safe to do a bariatric procedure.
According to the Guinness Book of World Records, the heaviest living man in the world has been Manuel Uribe from Mexico. He topped out at 1,235 pounds, but has managed to lose some weight and is down now to 980 pounds. Shari is not alone. Obesity is a serious issue in Saudi Arabia, with more than 35% of its citizens considered severely overweight.
Seoul has kicked off an annual 10-day joint military drill with the United States on Monday. This development is taking place as South Korea prepares to defend its territory in an event Pyongyang attacks. CNN's Paula Hancock witnessed the exercise, and this is what she found out.
South Korea is preparing for the worst-case scenario, an attack on its underground system. Now, what we're seeing here is a drill that's taking place in one of the downtown subway stations. There's been a bomb attack on one of the trains that's still in the tunnel, and we've been seeing people being evacuated from that train. Many people were injured, and what we're seeing is an integration here of the military and also of civilians and fire personnel, and you can see here they're simulating a potential gas attack. And so this is really what Seoul officials say is making sure that they are ready for any kind of scenario. It is very important to them, they say. This is just an annual event. The civilian defense does want to make sure that they are ready for any kind of attack and that they can have the kind of emergency response that you need in a mega city like the South Korean capital. Now, there were around 160 people involved. As I say, it is an annual event, and it's part of a much bigger military drill. We're seeing around 50,000 South Korean personnel and military officials. We're seeing 30,000 US troops involved in a much bigger military drill. And interestingly, at this point, there has been rather a muted response from North Korea. In the past, they have been particularly angry when they've seen this kind of thing. Paula Hancock, CNN Seoul.
We now shift attention to the weather report, courtesy of the National Central Forecast Office.
And for those of us who know what the River Gambia stands for, understanding its sustainability in all aspects of life is easily confirmed. The River Gambia provides nutritious delicacies as food, while it provides its wildlife a balanced ecosystem. This river, as a sanctuary, is committed to its inhabitants' needs without season. And as you travel along, all these values are replicated in one company, Elton. Just like the River Gambia, leads in its commitment to values that matter most. Elton, championing the vision for a new generation.
Good evening and welcome to the weather segment, beginning with a summary of the weather during the last 24 hours, followed by a forecast. The Gambia during the period was generally cloudy and rain-affected parts of the country. The figures recorded as follows: Basse recorded the highest with 22.9 millimeters of rain, Kerewan recorded 21.3, Banjul 16.8, Yanyambure 13.5, Kau recorded 5.2, and the lowest was Fatoto with 4.5 millimeters of rain. For what will follow, let's start with a look at the satellite image captured at 16:30 hours, reflecting deep convective systems over some parts of the central areas of the continent, with similar systems observed over parts of Nigeria, as well as parts of Ivory Coast extending to the northern part of Senegal. The north and the southern parts were generally dry and stable during the period. For our forecast tonight, we are expecting conditions over the Gambia to be generally cloudy, humid, with intermittent rain showers. Tomorrow will be very cloudy in the morning, but the chances of intermittent rain during the day. Winds will be not westerly in orientation, but generally light to moderate in speed. And morning temperature values will be 21 degrees Celsius over the Greater Banjul areas. We are expecting 23 and 24 degrees Celsius over the West Coast and the North Bank region respectively. We are expecting 23 degrees Celsius over the Lower River region. The Central River and the Upper River region will record 24 degrees Celsius tomorrow morning. Top temperatures will be 30 degrees Celsius over the Greater Banjul areas. We are expecting 31 degrees Celsius over the West Coast region. The rest of the Gambia will be mainly 32 degrees Celsius tomorrow afternoon. Low tides will be 0.1 meter at 3:24 a.m. and 0.1 meter at 3:59 p.m. High tides will be 2 meters at 9:59 a.m. and 1.8 meters at 10:23 p.m. The sun will rise at 10 minutes to 7 o'clock and will set at 19:27. Thank you and good night.
And time for a quick reminder of our headlines before we go. The Vice President and Minister of Women's Affairs, Ajah Dr. Aizatun Saidi, has held discussions with members of the Gambia Association in Spain and the Methodist Women's Federation at the State House. Transport Works and Infrastructure Minister Balagaba Jahumpa has inspected the newly completed road project at Hagen Street in Banjul as part of his ongoing tour of project sites. U.S. government is planning to scale down support to the Egyptian military amid widespread condemnation of the army's use of violence on protesters. And Seoul and its principal ally, the United States, have kick-started their annual 10-day military drill in South Korea. That brings us to the end of the news at 8. Please stay tuned for another newscast at 10 o'clock. Enjoy our interesting programs.
Out of the way, yet easily accessible. Tatum is the settlement of contrasting fascinations, straddled between nature's endowments and deeply cultured and amiable inhabitants. It's great to have you back on the expedition. I am Ibrahim Jata. This week, I am in Tatum, in the West Coast region, discovering the silent precincts of this smiling coast. Have you ever been to Tatum before? Join me on this edition of the expedition, rehearsing the southern delights of this smiling coast after this break.
And we're so having a great time with my friends at the Smiling Coast.